Hi,
Hi,
everybody.
uh,
Go
hi
ahead.
everyone. Sorry. Yep.
Yeah, me and Brian are here. Today we were going to make this a little simple because we want to make sure that everybody has a wonderful holiday season, and then we'll start back up with our interviews after the holidays. This can be a tough time for a lot of people, and it doesn't have to be. A lot of times people are full of expectations, and we want everybody to be able, family and people, to be able to keep their serenity. In fact, there's a part in the big book. Brian, you want to read that?
Sure. So the part in the big book, it says, Serenity is inversely proportional to my expectations. The higher my expectations of other people are, the lower that my serenity is. So I can watch my serenity levels rise when I discard my expectations.
Good job. Because there's a lot of people that have, expectations that turn into resentments when your gift is not bigger than my gift, or you can't make it to a certain place, and it gets quite complicated. Here at Cipriani and Johnson, we always try to have a little segment on the holidays because they can be very frustrating for both people in addiction and their families. And so we've kind of real quickly going to go through a few things that might help you out. And you want to start with the first one?
Sure. Well, so the first thing is to be aware of how you're feeling, and remember that the general feeling of how to get through this holiday is basically in the service of others. That's what, generally speaking, the whole holiday is really about, right? So you practice some self-care, you take some time, you take some deep breaths before you enter into the dinner area with your family
Yeah,
or whatever, and you try not to judge your insides based on other people's outsides.
exactly. And a lot of people don't have a whole lot of money in recovery. So hopefully your family understands that too. And also know when to say no. There might be certain limitations that you know are going to be uncomfortable, or certain things that you're just not ready to handle yet. And that's when you really have to be gentle with yourself. You know,
Completely. We when we come into sobriety, we're asked to basically redefine our whole world, or at least like peel some layers back and see what's underneath in the core, right?
hmm
So it's like times like that. If it's not working for you, then why are we using it? Maybe it's time that we start making some new traditions that bring us a lot more happiness, or a lot more gratitude for living.
exactly. Sometimes family can be a little upset with us, or it can be rather toxic. And the beautiful thing is, usually most of your clubhouses have dinners too that you can do. And
That's right.
always keep a friend and your sponsor on hand. We teach here to have a large support system. So if one person can answer, another person does, because you're not the only one that goes through a lot of this frustration and all. And occasionally you do have to go to a party or get together where there might be people drinking, maybe a company party, and that's a good idea, to bring a friend, bring your own stuff, you know.
Right. As Terry was mentioning, you could bring your own drinks to a holiday party. That way, you don't have any issue with drinking something accidentally, or in something like that. And also, I would also say that sometimes it's good if we have sort of an idea of what we may want to say if somebody asks us a question. You know, and sometimes it's as simple as like, I just feel healthier, when I'm not drinking, or I'm just cutting out drugs from my life and I'm trying to be a little bit healthier. And I knew that you would support me in that, right?
hmm
So something
Yeah,
like that.
that's always a good thing. And I often tell too with my clients is when we're in recovery, a lot of times if someone else is drinking, you want to try to save them, and that is
Mhm.
not the time to do it then. But another thing too is staying very active. If you spend too much time in your own head, you're with the last person you was with. That's
Totally.
not a good place to be. So, you know. And another thing that we have found is have a gratitude list for all the things that you do have, you know. With family, it's a good time to, instead of dwelling on that, to somewhat recreate those happy childhood memories. There will always be someone will bring up something, about the past, and that's really when we have to concentrate on the way things are there and bring them back to the present.
Yeah, I agree. I've lived in Seattle and San Francisco and now Jacksonville, and I can tell you of those three cities, completely different sides of the country. They all have 12-step meetings, and they all have multiple, like, different kinds, Al-Anon, SLAW, whatever you need to talk to, and plus, online meetings are always available. All you got to do is just break down and search on the internet for 12-step online meeting, right, happening now, and you would get it. So,
I agree. But however, I will say this. I think, an in-person meeting where you get good energy and see
Sure.
other people is really good. So if you can make it on, and there are meetings everywhere, at the beach, all over our Duval County if you're listening to this local, but anywhere. Most of the clubhouses have them sometimes 24/7. There is support. This is a week program, you know. And limit your time around people that aren't good for you. Like you
yeah,
say, prepare that, like you said, and have an escape plan. Whatever you do, we just want to make sure that you have a happy holiday, and we look forward to this year bringing some really interesting resources. But thought this was a good time to bring up some of these tips while we're wishing everybody a very Merry Christmas.
that's right. And well, we are wishing you guys, no matter what you believe, a happy holiday, and just be aware of what your body needs, what you need. Nourish yourself, and try to approach your life with a healthy perspective, and you won't be. And just also, the thing is that when I have been in trouble, or when I have been concerned, or when I have been agitated, it always helps me to just be honest with the people around me, and from there I always get what I need. And sometimes, if you need to take a little time for yourself, just take the time for yourself, and then you can go back to the family gathering. So just take care of yourself and be out there. We're here for you, and we'll see you next week, baby. Yeah.
Definitely. And remember that a smile and a hug is sometimes the best gift you can give. So anyway, I hope everybody has a wonderful Christmas, and we'll see you next week, okay? All righty. Merry
Bye,
Christmas,
everyone.
everybody. Mhm.